Who doesn't love an elf, hey? Hi guys, welcome back to PlanetMithril. My name is Mithril, and my series of Battlefield Basics, the series of videos that takes your toys from your pile of shame and shows you how to get them battle ready and game ready in no time at all. And today I'm tackling some of the oldest sculpts in the range and showing you how you can get your high elf warriors battlefield ready in no time at all. Now these elven sculpts are among some of the oldest, if not the actual oldest, in the range, and many of us hobbyists have a fondness for elvenkind, and ranked up archers and swordsmen of Rivendell are an absolutely stunning sight and an imposing force on the table, especially when coupled with the heroes and knights of the faction. And today I have my take on getting your elven forces battle ready in no time at all, and a recipe that can easily be replicated across your elven forces. Working off a black undercoat which I've previously applied using the Citadel Chaos Black Spray. Brush is ready guys, let's get to it. I'm beginning by base coating all that rich golden elf armour with Retributor Armour. Key areas to make sure you catch it are of course the chest plate, the folds, the helmet, any exposed arm armour and shin armour where applicable. The little bit of gold detailing on the sword shaft I'm not catching just yet. Now the pigment of Retributor is a little bit weak, so you'll find you'll need a few coats over a black undercoat like this for a nice smooth finish. I'm applying a shade now to all the gold armour using Druchii Violet, making sure to push this into the recesses and grooves between the weaved armour. Now you may find you want to thin this down for better coverage, but that's down to your preference. Now I'm taking a medium round dry brush and applying a fairly liberal highlight to the armour using Liberator Gold. With the dry brush I'm looking to catch the edges of the weaved platework, leaving the shade showing in the recesses. Even with the roundness of the helmet, you can see how this just takes to the outer curve to give some really nice reflection. Do not be afraid to reorient your model to get really good coverage over all these armour parts. The face within the helm now I'm picking out using Cadian Fleshtone, a nice light tone to befit the lighter complexion of elfkind. Make sure you get up under the chin if possible as well. With a quick targeted shade now being applied to the face using Reikland fleshshade. Now applying a highlight using Kislev Flesh, hitting the nose, chin and cheekbones where I can, leaving the Reikland fleshshade showing in the recesses. All the robes now, namely the long flowing cloaks and the material that hangs down around their legs, have been given a base coat using Kantor Blue. It's important to make sure you get in all the recesses and folds for nice even coverage, also not forgetting to catch the hood and the material around the tops of the arms which hold the cloak in place. All the blue robes and cloth now are being shaded down using Drakenhoff Nightshade. With the swordsmen, be careful not to let this pool on their cloaks as they're a lot more angular and flatter than the archer or the spearman are. Now I'm layering up the cloak and cloth using Altdorf Blue, leaving the Drakenhoff shade showing in the recesses where I can to build up movement and flow over all these material sections. You will almost certainly need to apply a few coats here to get a smooth finish, as the Altdorf again can be a bit temperamental with its coverage and you don't want to end up streaky. The sash tied around his waist and hanging down his front is now being base coated using Rakarth Flesh, again working this into all the recessed folds as we did the cloak earlier on. The boots, gloves and any exposed cloth down the inner of the forearms are all being base coated using Dryad Bark. The sash, boots and gloves now are all being shaded using Agrax Earthshade. Again, you might find you want to dilute this slightly just to take a little bit of intensity out of the shade itself. I'm layering up the sash now using Screaming Skull, trying to keep good control over my brush with long unbroken strokes, picking out the upper folds once again, leaving the shade showing in the creases and recesses. I'm now framing the boots and defining the fingers grasping the elvish sword using Gorthor Brown. The length of the sword shaft is being base coated using Mournfang Brown, being careful not to bleed out onto the gloves or clip the top of the helmet crest. I'm just catching the upper half of the sword shaft now with a solid line highlight using Skrag Brown. The sword blade and any exposed chainmail, mainly around the elbows and arm regions, is being base coated using Leadbelcher. All these silvers now are being shaded down using Nuln Oil. The edge of the blade now is being highlighted with Stormhost Silver. I'm also applying this as a very light dry brush very carefully over the chainmail. Finally, the gold detailing at the top and around the pommel of the sword hilt is being picked out using Retributor Armour. Man, I wish I knew something elvish that I could shout triumphantly right now, but there you are, the first of a glorious golden host of hard as nails elven warriors is finished, and now you can apply this recipe to the remainder of your Rivendell forces and get them battle ready in no time at all. All that's left is to base the model, and for that I recommend you check out my 5-minute bases playlist. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's Battlefield Basics video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and hit that bell to make sure you never miss a Mithril upload. And once again, thank you so much to all our Patrons. We really appreciate your support. You can hit us up on there for as little as £1 a month and the link is in the description below. But until next time guys, take care and as always, happy hobbying.